Live from places unknown and Miami, Florida, it's Friday night.
Welcome. Thanks for that nice introduction. I heard it twice. It was really weird.
Sorry.
This was so nice.
Ooh, and I don't think
It
I
was so
sent
nice you heard it
someone.
twice.
He's from New York. They name things twice.
I forgot to send Trev the link. Hang on.
Oh,
Joel, make it show. I'll be right back.
show. Okay, so we're going to discuss the totality of the Acolyte, which just finished up this week with everyone's favorite stranger, everyone's favorite really needs lotion guy at the end with the hand and the.
I think
we have OSHA. We have
Was
OSHA hand railings. With the stranger has OSHA regulated hand railings to entice OSHA to come, and it worked. So
was Darth Plagueis like blending? Like, was he a chameleon?
you don't know
like,
that's just the rumor. Let's not jump on that yet.
That's definitely Darth Plagueis the Wise. Like, there's no other person that could be.
Yeah.
No,
Darth
it's
Plagueis'
I
dad.
think Leslie
No, it's
confirmed
Darth
it.
Plagueis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it?
Leslie also confirmed it. There you go.
I don't like
yeah.
that. That's confirmed already. They should wait.
But it's already confirmed, like, just by his appearance. Who else could it be? Why would there be? Why would there be a moon?
There's always just tons of Sith around waiting to be the two. It's just another Sith intern.
No, it's Darth Plagueis.
There's two employed Sith, and then there's unemployed
Darth Plagueis.
interns.
Not Darth Plagueis.
Is it Plagueis or Plagueis?
Plagueis, I
You
think.
say
Not
Plagueis?
plugging anything.
No, they're not. Yeah, of course not.
He hasn't plugged anything in years. That's why he looks so depressed.
Yeah.
I saw someone online post because he probably got the idea for Anakin from Mother Anastasia that he's Darth Plagiarist.
Sorry.
Oh my. Wrong franchise.
That's funny.
So okay, the Acolyte's over. We got like what I think is a pretty incredible Star Wars show. Not without its flaws, of course, but nothing is perfect. What did you all think? Let's start with Joanne because she's like the newest to Star Wars, and then Marcelo, Joel, and then Stanley. If you could finish us off. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
Finish
sorry.
us off.
I am Darth Doobie now.
I am skilled in the
Now.
arts.
Darth Doobie baby. Yeah.
Can I make a nerdy request that folks go on mute when they're not talking? Because I'm hearing nothing but that.
The fire alarm. Yeah, I agree.
Folk will think the police are coming for us. Bad boys, bad boys. But, yes, as the newcomer and very much kind of on the margins of the universe, right? Still, I thought it was good overall. I think conceptually, I thought it was brilliant, right? That particularly those first 3 episodes, the intention they set, really just fascinating, very provocative, just thoughts I'd never seen kind of or experienced in that universe before. I think the execution was a little wonky. I think there was not maybe enough time either, or enough episodes, or maybe there were too many episodes and not enough story. I don't know. There was something off, right? There was not a balance in the force. But overall, I enjoyed most of the last episode. But again, because I think this was probably, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, probably the most kind of where you needed to know a little bit about the universe to be as excited about what was happening in that last episode. I was not, because I was like, oh, who's the creepy figure? Why is that significant? You know, I didn't really understand why, May had to be left behind. But, I soon found out because, I'm a nerd and watch all the things, like why that's important. But so I didn't, in that regard, I didn't think things came together well because the last episode for me felt very unsatisfying and very unresolved. you can drop a cliffhanger, but there still should be some sort of resolve kind of within what you've experienced over the season to make you go, okay, I'm ready. And I was just very like confused sort of at the end. But overall, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, my thoughts on the Acolyte are very, very interesting because I really liked what they were going for. I like the fact that we got to see the Jedi in this very disturbing light. I really enjoyed the fact that the Jedi were basically like I just like the way that the Jedi were portrayed in this series as not being morally upright. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing that a lot. I don't particularly like a lot of the storytelling. I think it's wonky in some places, and I think that some of the acting just kind of didn't work for me. It was kind of flat. But I did like the ultimate reveal of that guy in the cave, Dark Plagueis. That I did not see coming, and I really liked where OSHA, or is it OSHA or is it May? I can't. I get them confused. Um, I I like that that she took revenge on the individual that
That's
killed her
OSHA.
mother. Thank you, it's OSHA. I love the fact that OSHA uh choked that guy out. Like I love that so much.
It's very
Because
You
interesting.
love
That's all
killing a bitch,
Yeah, he loves.
Marcelo.
He does love killing a bitch.
yeah, no, but the no, but the, yeah, no, but the thing, no, but the thing is that like I believe in an eye for an eye. So it's like if you take a person that I love, God help you if I get a weapon. So yeah, um I really enjoyed that because like I've been watching Star Wars for most of my life, and I never thought that Star Wars would get this dark, and I really like it like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed this whole show. Especially, yeah, there was some weirdness in various parts, but just introducing a whole new action styles to lightsaber fights and the Jedi in general was just amazing. Because yeah, the original Star Wars was all Kurosawa samurai kind of based stuff, and then the prequels were sort of that, but sort of jumpier. And then here we get full on Hong Kong kung fu at the beginning with Carrie Ann Moss's character. It was amazing fights, choreographed great, and it even looked that sort of double tiered restaurant on that planet where she dies. I've seen that in like 18 kung fu movies before. And then in the very last episode, we get full on wire hidden, what was it? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, wire kung fu stuff, which looked great and amazing, and we haven't done that before either. So, yeah. So not only do we get sort of better perspectives on Jedi as an institution, but we get that. And the only thing I really hated is they erased Pip's mind, the droid, and I was very sad. But Stan,
I'm on the same Starliner. I really enjoyed it. There are moments where I was confused. It does feel a little like they're banking on a season 2 to really pay things off. Ahsoka was very similar in that way, although I enjoyed it as well. I didn't think, or there were some things that I thought were meant to be twists that I kind of figured out, like the moment OSHA looks slightly different, I was like, oh, she's a twin. And once it was confirmed that there were twins, I knew she was going to go dark. Like, okay, they're going to switch sides. They're going to end up with each other's masters. There's going to be exposition with it. So for me, the execution of what I assumed was going to happen is where I really tried to dig in. Because I don't think you need a big twist in every piece of media, but where they started executing things where I was very surprised, certain character deaths, that they died at all was surprising in a few places. Yord and Jecki, for example. I kind of assumed that they were goners, but I thought they were going to last much longer than that, at least one of them. Once, I forget who was killed first, but I was like, okay, that's it for, oh God. And like, it got me again. So that's fun to see in the Star Wars universe, because they don't usually show us people dying like that. I also, I heard the note about certain acting choices, and if it's who I thought you were talking about, I'm going to throw out that I thought something about the twins as well, the actress who plays the twins, because for a couple of episodes I was like, they're not different enough. Like I don't understand how they're not very different, given that they didn't know about each other, or Osha didn't know about May, and they had very different upbringings, obviously, after that event. But then the reveal at the end that they're not technically twins, but that they're one consciousness split into two bodies. Did somebody other than Saul say that? Because if it was just Saul, my theory falls apart. But because they're one consciousness, I was like, oh, those are actually really great acting and directing choices throughout the series. So sort of redeemed it in my mind, because she is a great actress. Some of her choices, I was like, that's weird. But then towards the end, I was like, oh, great. And then those Jedi got what they deserved, especially Saul. Because if you were listening like I was, he never once apologized while he was dying. He kept saying, I was right. I did what was right. No, he fucking didn't. Got what he deserved. And those are my top thoughts.
Wow. Excuse me. I was being force choked somehow. Like, just, it's like
Because I thought you were going to disagree.
Trev, welcome. Now, Trev, you haven't seen the show at all, right?
I haven't. Joanne said intention setting, and that causes me to manifest in any stream. If you reference setting an intention, I just appear.
It's like Bloody Mary. You say
like the bald gay genie that I am. No, I haven't, but I love all things Star, and regardless of the second word in the series, but I've not been convinced on all Star Wars series, so I'm here to be convinced.
Oh, cool! That's like our secondary mission today.
And drink with my friends. So
yay!
I can give you one quick, like, it's going to be a dig, but it's also whatever. It's not a big time commitment. It's only 8 episodes,
and 2 of them are like 30 minutes.
Yeah, the majority are like 40 minutes and less.
And that shit drives me nuts. I said this about Picard season 2, and I love Jonathan Frakes, but one of his episodes was like 38 minutes.
Yeah, they got to make them longer.
When we are directly paying for this shit, then I need more than the 42 minutes. And I know it's only $10 a month or whatever, but that was what they sold us. So
it's okay if they go over
episodes,
but not super under.
I'm also going to watch anything with Manny in it. So
oh my gosh, you got to see
him.
He
is hot. It's moving,
and he stays hot.
He stays hot.
Did anyone else think they were going to go naked swimming at the end, and then they didn't?
I wish.
That's what I was like, does Disney not do that? I thought they were going to smash, or at least.
Well, I didn't think they were going to show that, but I thought they'd be like, "Now we swim," because they didn't before.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
A couple of things from our audience. Our text message audience, Stanley says, "I thought Yord would be longer lasting as well." So there's that from there. But by the way, I love that your red and I just noticed your like red and blue lightsaber lighting effect is pretty awesome. like on the opening of the shows, you know how it like flashes back and forth. It looks very good, very nice.
I change my lighting a little bit every week, and I haven't come to a home base yet, but this might be
one. We had a comment from Blue Spark. Do you guys think that this show breaks the continuity, as some are saying, or does it fit in well with the prequels? Those of you who have seen like a lot of Star Wars. What do you guys think? I say no. I don't think
it
it
does at
breaks
all.
the continuity. Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't think it breaks the continuity. I'm not a pretty big proponent of continuity in the things that I love anyway. But there's nothing that this show does that makes my brain explode as far as continuity is concerned. Excuse me.
This is
I
way
know
before
what
the
it did.
holiday special, so it doesn't interfere with that at all.
Yeah, it's true.
Just the
It
most
broke my.
tentpole of the franchise. Because
It broke my. Go ahead, sorry. I was just gonna say it broke my vow of celibacy.
Oh, shit.
Can I clarify? Because I'm not I've watched all of the Star Wars stuff. Well, most of it. Some of the animated stuff I need to catch up on. But there were two bigger things that people, or now three things that people are claiming are broken in canon. The lightsaber kyber crystal thing, which, as I understand it, is not accurate because he didn't. Anakin's lightsaber did not change because until he was fully Vader, because he didn't actually bleed on the damn thing the way that we saw Osha bleed on it. The second one I recall is Conehead saying in the Phantom Menace that they've been gone for 1,000 years. A, characters can be wrong.
Yeah.
B, they were demonstrably wrong in the entire prequel series. It was a very big point.
That was like the whole point. Yeah.
The damn Chancellor was Sith Lord. Okay.
And after watching this, now I think some of those Jedi are sus. I think they're making shit up.
Yes.
Like Yoda, like looking over at Mace Windu with those side eyes, like he knows something.
Right. And the third one, the third bigger one I thought, or I heard about, was May and Osha being of the Force, but they weren't of the Force. They were created by the witches. The Force created Anakin. It doesn't, like, this show did not change Anakin's specialness. These white men complaining that they're not special anymore never were, but they're also inaccurate, right?
And the kyber crystal has been evolving because it used to be that like
synthetic crystal.
Yes, you just make
in
your
lore.
own
This is in
synthetic
legend,
red
like,
crystal.
Yeah.
And then that's how you did it if you're a Sith. And then the Darth Vader comics recently, they started to torture the kyber crystal, and that Darth Vader comic it's good. And that
cool.
whole issue where they just tortured it until it turned red was amazing. So this is a slight variation of that, but it's been continually changing and it's getting better. So if they change things for the better, I'm all for that. And that was never even in the movies. That was just in novels and stuff too. It was all secondary.
Grifters.
I feel so grateful that Star Trek made it easy, and they're just like, the only thing that you guys should count as official is what's on screen and has been aired. Whereas Star Wars is a little more
amazing stuff in the books and comics.
I understand that, but it's like it makes it easy for continuity stuff. That I think the thing that happens is that so many people who might be watching the series may not have been updated as to like what the current continuity is, because it's confusing in Star Wars to me, even because it's like some of the stuff in the books is considered official continuity as well as the movies. I haven't read any of the books, any Star Wars book except
really?
No, not a single one. Yeah, I only know the on-screen stuff of Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm the same too. I haven't read anything, and when I say I watched the movies, like I've barely watched the movies. Like I kind of know what happened at the beginning, what happened at the end. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't talk detail like I can on Trek, but I will say I do understand the questions that it raises, because this is what got me kind of into the series, is that when I watched the first couple of episodes, I was like, oh, this is kind of a new approach for Star Wars, right? This level of kind of nuance and dealing with, moral ambiguity. And, because for me, again, very much on the margin, the universe is very binary. There was very, black, white, light, dark, good, evil, hot, not, so
that's the Jedi. Believe that. Wrong.
So,
They
you know
believe
what I
But
it.
mean?
that's the thing I love about this series and Ahsoka too, is that like
Yeah.
there is that ambiguity introduced. And what I love about this series is we've never seen the Jedi except for like the way that we see them here, where there's this YouTube channel which I think, you know, of all the YouTube things that I've watched, this is probably the most like thoughtful analysis, and it's Generation Tech, which is odd. It's not even a Star Wars like, or it's like but the guy who hosts the channel talked about how like we actually, when you think about what the Jedi Order itself is in this period, it's kind of like a prison because they force you to not deal with your emotions, and
I
they
love
kind of
that senator.
what's that?
I love that senator in the last episode.
Oh, he lays. Oh, he like lays it out. It's like
What
really
was it?
great. Yeah.
You all claim to control what you can't possibly. And she's like, we don't control the Force. I wasn't talking about the Force,
About
bitch.
Your emotions.
Yeah.
Your emotions. So it casts a new light on the Jedi, where I still think they're awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's nice to have like not just like these, you know, kind of flawless, incapable of kind of, you know, like failing kind of impression that a lot of people have had of the Jedi at large. I know Anakin fell,
Wrong
but
impression.
yeah.
It's the wrong impression to have. From the jump, the Jedi were decimated. So there's obviously that mystery of why. If they're all good, they're not going to be fucked with, right? In theory. That's a very generous theory. But two, the Jedi have always been shady as hell. Like that damn puppet lied straight to Luke's face, and so did Ghost Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, the certain point of view stuff.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
See?
And I
Can't tell a born boy everything.
Vader's my
Mother-
father the same day he chops off my arm when you could have told me the whole damn time.
Because
Joanne, what were you saying?
I said Mother Anastasia kind of laid it out for me, and that was the hook, honestly, that got me into this. When she said, you know, this isn't about like good or bad or whatever. This is about power and who has the right to wield it. And I was
Mhm.
like, bitch, work. Like that's, you know, that's the eternal question. And like I said, that's a nuance that I hadn't really seen in Star Wars before. So I get why people were like, "Oh, this is different," but then you know, a lot of it still comes down like it does in Trek to like, "Oh, you don't like this," you know, woman-led black woman actress. You know, there's a lot of pettiness going on, but I do kind of understand the uneasiness maybe if you've kind of lived in this universe a long time, that it was very different.
It's also kind of Catholic churchy in general, like more so in the past, where they would take so many people out of. You didn't belong to society. That's okay. You can become a monk over here, and you won't have a family, and we won't interact so much with the rest of society. Instead, you'll just do this very specific thing and make beer, I guess. But I guess the Jedi need to make beer, and they'll be a little better. But
I wonder if the Jedi do have a.
I hope there's some like Trappist Jedi who are like, oh, force beer. Yeah.
I
Beer
really
and
think.
crusty bread.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's going to be an Acolyte season 2. I think that when
I
the
think so.
the show's so is getting so much attention.
Negative
because of-
attention is still attention, people.
It's still and they all watch it. So
Yeah.
like it's all they're giving it
Everywhere.
the views that everyone watched it. So I definitely think there will be a season 2, and I hope Leslie Headland pulls no punches. Like she goes all in with her vision, because I really love it. But despite what they say, so Mother, what was her name? Coral?
I
There's
think
Mother
it's
NSA
Coral.
and then
Proper
Mother
nouns.
Coral.
I'm not sure.
We still don't know really much about her or what her fate is, so she's still around. And Mother Anastasia, we could still see in flashbacks. So I hope we get more of the story of this coven, because I think that was not a missed opportunity, but something that I think they put aside for other stories.
Because we never saw her body, right?
Right, we never saw her, but she just faded into the smoke, and then.
Yeah.
And
I
then
thought
she
that was
like,
going to be her hand. When that hand came out, I thought that was going to be her.
I thought that was her too.
But then it's not. Really, you could see
Oh.
the face. I was
Yeah.
like, ah, shoot.
I
As
thought-
much as I like the Darth Plagueis thing, that actually would have been cool too. I would have liked that.
Well, I thought the stranger could have been her. I figured it was either
At
Kamir
the
or
beginning,
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Until the arms were exposed. I was like,
I think the hand guy is just a guy who likes to make, sensory deprivation helmets for people. And he's just a little craftsman. He's not evil.
So, Trev, by the way, as a non-viewer, feel free to ask us questions about the stuff we're talking about if you have any, or just be
What's the
sassy.
show about? No, I'm
questions. I'm gonna say he's gonna be like questions like who?
Which one's the bad girl? I don't
Oh, and
know.
also,
They're all-
huh?
That's pretty funny. I'm being summoned. Make it show for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is
but,
just
you know,
the force place instead of the good place, right? So
Yeah, the other thing, like, if there is a season 2, I have one wish though. I would love for Disney to allow the showrunner to write the whole series by herself. Like, it would be so cool to see a season 2 crafted exclusively by her. Because some of the episodes that I had issues with, she didn't actually have any involvement in writing. So I think the best episodes of the series were the ones that she had direct writing involvement with. That's just me.
that might be exhausting. I know J. Michael
Yeah.
Straczynski could do that, but
Right.
I don't know how he did that.
Yeah, but
I mean,
also,
a Disney
but
show. I mean, oh man,
yeah, but also,
I get what you're saying, but yeah,
yeah. But also, I would just say that these episodes are like 30 minutes, which is like it feels like a
yeah.
ripoff. But 30 minutes of like screen time is like, 30 pages each script.
I mean,
like,
I think they really need
8
to
scripts.
like maybe break the entire season at once, kind of a la Prodigy, where because this did not
Probably do
feel
that.
like they broke the
Yeah.
season as a whole.
Yeah.
But I agree too with Blue that the questions they're raising and the nuances need, I think, a staff. And I think that that's why some of this
Yeah.
felt so wonky, because one person can get so married to their vision that, you know what I mean, they can't accept like this doesn't make sense, or this is out of
Right.
order, or this is a hole. You need people who kind of share the vision, right? To help you steer, but
No, Vision's
Right.
the other
This is-
franchise.
yeah, I know, right?
Also, I one of the episodes or two of the episodes that were in the season, when they were written as one episode. Disney forced them to be split into 2. So I would not like I did not like
It would have
hearing
been
that.
cool if the season was like 7 episodes, because 7 is a magically powerful number, and it
Yeah.
would have been fitting for like the dark side and all that stuff, because in the
Yeah.
books, I didn't read it, but I know this from watching like a shit ton of lore videos, but in the books, Darth Plagueis had 7 acolytes. Just saying.
Yeah, he did.
That would have been great.
Because episodes 3 and 7 should have been one episode, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think so.
All
Yeah.
seasons of television should be prime numbers.
Yeah. Also, I would actually have done the flashback episodes first. I would have got rid of like sort of the mystery element of the show and done the flashback episodes first, and then go on to May and have her hunting down the Jedi and do that stuff. But putting the flashback episodes first would get rid of the wonkiness for me. I was like, do this first and then do all the other stuff.
I'd be very curious to hear what the writer's room style was like, because this would have been produced and then filmed. I would imagine it was prior to the strike, right? Like
I believe so.
So one of the big issues in the strike was allowing rooms to continue.
Mhm.
So like you would, in some cases, you would have a writer, they would write their episode, and then they're gone. Versus, I think what we're getting at, and what they used to do is you would have writers' rooms there. Everybody was hired for the season. Everybody would work on them together. Each writer would have their individual episode that once it was broken out as a team, the general vision is well understood by everybody. And then one person is like, okay, now go write that episode and then we'll punch it up together.
Right.
And the studios are trying to make writers do less and less of that. Hire fewer writers, hire them just for the week of the episode or a couple of weeks of the episode that they're writing. And so, like, you're already a struggling writer. You can't be like, hey, Leslie, I'm working on this scene. What did you say needs to happen 4 episodes from now? Like, it's just another example. I would imagine it feels like the studio's fucking with the writer's room style, affecting the final product.
I have my first question.
Go ahead.
Who's Leslie?
Leslie Headland.
That's
Thank you for asking.
showrunner.
That's a really good question. Yeah, Leslie Headland is the
Leslie's
showrunner and creator of this show.
Yeah. And she also
so-
did she also did Russian Dolls, which is really good.
Russian Dolls,
Ah.
yeah, which everyone says is really good.
The more you know.
Well,
The more you know.
indeed. That's a good question.
Somebody was
She's
also stealing money, though. Where did I was shocked to hear the budget for this show was
$180 million an episode.
When House of the Dragon is a $200 million
$100 million.
show.
They're spending more
And-
on CGI than it's.
yeah,
But
the
again,
CGI, yeah,
House of the
and all
Dragon
those lights.
enters the chat because
I
House
know
of the
they're
Dragon
doing better
looks
with
good.
They have dragons, but I don't.
But it's a comparable thing, and it looks
It should
good.
be.
And this looks like a shit.
She, yeah.
Making,
No, well, no,
making
the
people
other
and
thing-
dragons
no,
is expensive.
Yeah, no. The other thing that drove me crazy, the other thing that drives me crazy about Star Wars in general on Disney Plus, except for Andor, it looks like the back lot of the Star Wars theme park.
Yeah.
Every show, I'm like, oh, it looks too clean. You guys gotta.
They're hiding in a forest this time too.
Yeah, what is that?
Everybody's in a forest.
Do you think it was because of all the? Do you think the difference might have been all the top talent that they hired? Like, because I feel like the guy
Carrie Ann
from
Moss was
Again,
expensive.
House of the Dragon enters the chat. They got
who's super famous in that.
like
other
Matt
than
Matt
Smith.
Matt Smith.
I get it. I mean, I love Matt Smith. Don't get me wrong, but he's not like
Also-
Carrie Ann Moss, is he? Like, do you think
Oh,
she
see, I
doesn't she
don't know
command
who that
like?
bitch is. Which one is that?
That's that first bitch who died. They killed her so fast.
From the Matrix.
Trinity. Trinity.
It's
Oh.
Trinity, man.
that
Also-
first
also-
Jedi
also-
bitch.
I don't
And
know.
the
I
Marvel
think
shows.
Doctor
Don't forget.
Who
Yeah.
is
Carrie Ann Moss
comparable.
on the Netflix Marvel shows was amazing.
Mhm.
As that
Yeah,
lawyer.
She's really good, I think. Yeah, I like her. But
That
who else?
girl
in the-
is-
I mean, we had Yoda. You got to pay Yoda a shit ton of money for that cameo.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's
Get that bitch out of retirement. She is expensive.
I know she is expensive.
Lots of debts
When
that one has.
She has to
Maybe you will.
rematerialize from the Force to appear in these movies. It's not
Good at-
easy.
Good at contract negotiation, he is.
Yes.
I mean, and Mary was
Nerds.
half
We're
naked. They never
nerds.
put him in a shirt. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, but
Yeah, they saved a lot of money in wardrobe that way.
you know, he was naked.
I think a
I
lot.
don't know.
Imagine
I
it was
do
a
think
lot
that-
of it was a lot of location filming that probably.
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
because
There were some sets
ships.
too.
Well, but which ones? Like that Jedi ship sucked. Like
It
it,
looked expensive still, but
I thought it looked cheap. Like not cheap.
I know,
not
but I
cheap.
can imagine even if it looks
Yeah.
bad, it's still
Yeah.
expensive.
I did love the chair droids. Those
Yeah.
I want to see more of. That was cute as hell. Actually,
True.
Trevor,
Yeah,
there were
yeah,
droids
feel like-
flying a ship that then folded up into a chair.
into chairs.
It was great.
Oh, look, that might compel
Okay.
him to watch. How are we doing on the
Furniture
watch?
droids. What?
How are we doing on the compel you to watch meter? By the way, where are you at?
Are they from the droids from the planet IKEA? I
They give you a hug while you fly.
listen. Seat, is that a seatbelt or a hug?
Oh.
I'm-
OSHA is
I'm-
in the name.
I'm right. It's bound to be safe or scary all at the same time.
If you get an
Um,
OSHA violation, she chops your head off.
which would be the exact opposite of the actual OSHA. If you chop your head off, then OSHA shows up. I'm going to watch regardless. Like I am.
It's just how
I'm
soon you'll
behind on
watch.
a lot of my Wars stuff, but I'm gonna watch it no matter what. Mostly just to see
Also,
Manny, but for the
Oh
show.
my
as well.
gosh.
Good enough reason.
also, I think that this show would have been better as a binge. Uh, I think that the way that it was constructed and yeah, it to me, I just watched it again, like yesterday, and it works so much better for me in one giant chunk. I don't know how everybody else feels about that.
I just watched it week to week, but
Yeah.
like for some of the episodes, I definitely could see that,
Right.
especially the shorter ones. That
I would like. I mean, getting Prodigy as a binge was actually quite nice, even though it's weird for us to discuss it afterwards, like in
it's
the
hard to
format that
remember
we're used
individual
to.
parts.
But
I
it
know
was
what you
nice
mean,
because
but
I hate like waiting week. That was part of like I to me it was like I couldn't concentrate on life because I needed to see Manny. You know, like it was like it
I
was like too
couldn't
much.
guess it on life.
It would have been
So
frustrating waiting week to week for Prodigy because like there are 5 actual 2-parters, but then the other 10 episodes feel like they're almost 2-parters as well because it's a season-long story. So I think I would have been rather annoyed having to wait every week for the next thing to wrap up. Like I don't mind serialized television, but it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, like just wrap this shit up. And Prodigy does a really good job of wrapping up their mini arcs. Like if they did like batches of 2 episodes a week, maybe it would be different. But I think getting it in a binge was actually quite nice. I agree with you.
I might have to watch this one as a binge. I felt like that about Rings of Power. Like I liked Rings of Power kind of on my first watch through, like weekly, but then I was on vacation for my birthday and just binged those what 8 or 10 like just straight through in a day, and I thought this shit is amazing, right? Because the things held together better. And so maybe this was because I've only watched maybe 2 of these episodes more than once. I don't feel really compelled, quite frankly, to watch them again, but maybe if I watch it as a binge, I'll be like, oh, it deserves a season 2, because I don't think it's going to get it. I think they're going to succumb to
no,
the
they're gonna
outcry.
get it. No, because the worst outcrier was like, we're gonna get a season 2. I'm 99% positive we're gonna get a season 2. Like even the haters want it because they secretly love it. Those lightsaber battles
They hate
are the most
watching
insane.
this.
They love this shit. They're like jizzing in their pants like when they're not
It's
Those
just
online
battles were
lightsaber
playing
hot.
battles.
Those
anymore. Yeah,
battles
the
were hot.
battles were insane. Like these are some of the best battles we've had in Star
yeah,
Wars. There's no like seriously like so they want more. They want to control Leslie and steer her in their you know in their way. But no, I think they're
they want the
impressed.
stranger to make them watch
There's a thing
deep
Jesse
down.
Gender posted, which I thought was really interesting. It's like you can tell, like, if you've been watching some of these channels and you see, there's like, you can kind of safely predict someone's going to like something based on knowing what they've liked in the past. And
Well,
like
if
these
it's
guys
Star
have like,
Wars, half the channels, of
right.
course, they hate everything.
But like the
Everything.
thing is like some of these channels, it's inevitable. You can't help it when you start looking at the analytics. You see, oh, this video where I had negative viewpoints or where I
Yeah.
bashed something or where I did this had an insane number of things. So I got to do more of that to get more views, is what they think. I don't, like that kind of. I try not to. I don't ever look at my shit. I don't even. Sorry, subscribers. I don't know how many of you are there, but I appreciate you and
It's
please
all
subscribe.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just finished all
But
the
I think
TOS
that
discussions.
the
Finishing
reason
watching
why you shouldn't if you're passionate about something, but that's another topic, but going back to this thing is you can safely predict when someone's going to like enjoy something. And you can also hear from the way they talk what the bias is or what they're actually mad about. And it's always like they have to point out that the Coven of Witches are lesbians, which there's nothing on screen that says that they're lesbians. Like they have to point out, like there's these things that they're saying in their conversations where you're like, oh, I see what you really have a problem with. It's not the show, it's not the action, it's not like the contributions to canon, it's the cast. You wanted a boy, you wanted twin boys. I wanted twin boys too, but for a totally different reason. But I love those twin girls. That's what it boils down to, is you are so attached to your identity as a male that you can't enjoy a female-led
They had
show.
a big hole, at least. Didn't you enjoy that? That was one thing that was unexplained. They have the giant hole and all standing
It's a
around.
very big
Like,
hole. It's a very
It's
deep
a big
hole.
hole. It needs to be for Darth.
apparently.
So Hale, on that topic, not the whole topic, but what you were just saying about fandom and sort of its reaction to things. Like, but fandom to anything is such an inadvertent mirror to society. Like, people want to hold on to the thing that it was when it first happened. Look at the other Star franchise. Look at Star Wars. Star Wars was a bunch of white people and a Wookiee, and everybody wants it to stay that. Like, not everybody. These people that are having difficulties wanted it to stay that way. It's not.
But it became good when Lando Calrissian fucking showed up, and then it wasn't.
But I promise you that Wars is not the only thing they are that way about. If that's your personality, if your personality gravitates toward, I'm incapable of watching things evolve and become more inclusive, whether that inclusivity is intentional or just natural and organic, if you're resistant to that, you're resistant to that in life in general. And so whether it's Star Wars fans, Star Trek fans, or Little House on the Prairie fans, like they're going to be pissed off when things get better for everyone. When the story changes, when the storytelling changes, when the characters change, it's going to cause an epic meltdown of white boy fragility proportions,
especially amongst the Ingalls.
I don't trust them.
Those racist fucks, they were not happy.
But anyway, moral of the story, like I don't, yes, it seems like it's very loud in Star Wars fandom, but it's loud in Star Trek fandom. It's loud in society. Things start to evolve and people freak the fuck out.
I think a lot of these people want to feel what they felt when they were kids with this content too. Like there is something. If I could give these shitty people one sliver of understanding, and just one, and it's very thin and it's a mile wide, it's that I understand something that was precious to you as a child changing can be difficult, and not being able to have that inner thought, like, why is this bothering me? Not being able to be introspective, like, and not realizing, like, oh, it's because it's not the same, and I'm aiming for a feeling that I felt when I was a child and came across this thing that I love. I'm giving them way too much credit, but
if I could also just add, like, you have the choice. If I could also just add, you have the like, it's fine to critique something that I get, but with sincerity, it's awesome. But afterwards, like, but beyond that, if you're not enjoying it, and you're not a YouTuber, I guess, but just general people, you can just choose not to watch it. And it doesn't change. You can, outside of critique and online discourse and all that stuff, when you're talking about a show, you have to like adhere to certain rules or whatever. But outside of that, you get to choose what your canon is. Like, I never watched Enterprise for a long time and Voyager because I didn't think those were shows that I would be into. I got into them later, and that can happen too, which is great. And I'm like, oh, it's a shame I didn't watch them at the time. But outside of this kind of thing where you're talking about continuity and the events of what's happening and whatever, you don't really need to accept a new Star Wars show. You can just,
and I think the most
not worry about it.
Is, regardless of how you feel about content, don't be a dick. It is the easiest thing in the universe to just not be a dick. Like, people will still, you cannot say, oh, I really enjoyed this week's episode of Star Trek Discovery for its entire run, without somebody popping out of their trash can to be like, new Trek, Alex is getting fired, it's not popular. Like, It got 5 seasons. That's a successful show, especially in 2020 fucking 4 with that mess that's happening at Paramount. So like, just don't like it. Put the negativity on your own page if you must, but like, don't come into my replies to tell me that
Oh
you
yeah, it's like the worst,
like.
guys.
And you can absolutely watch it. Like, I don't really like Lower Decks. Like, I don't get it, right? Sometimes it's just not my style. But I watch it and I can appreciate when some things are funny. I can appreciate the artistry of it, the craft. Like, I get why it's successful. It's just not
Your
my
cup of tea.
style, right? It's not my cup of tea, right? And I think that's what Stan is saying. Like, I don't have to be like he was asking me one time. I was like, oh, I don't really like the show, so I don't want to come on and be sanctimonious about it, right?
She did
But
you did end that message, you stupid idiot. I can't believe you like that childish.
you dumb bitch. But you know,
And I said, thank you, Joanne. Would you like to come and talk about Discovery then? That's the kind of aggressive attitude we like at the salon.
I don't know if people remember though the fallow years of the late '80s, early '90s. I had to go. I mean, I've loved Star Wars. I know it was the first movie I ever went to at 3 weeks of age. My parents went to the drive-in, saw Star Wars, and they took me. So since '77, it's because my dad loves sci-fi. I've been there, but in the late '80s, early '90s, there was nothing. I had to go to the library and get the Han Solo and Lando novelization things, not novelizations, but books. And there was like 4 of those. That was it. There was nothing. And then Timothy Zahn dropped the Thrawn trilogy in like the early '90s, and it was amazing. And then we still didn't get anything till we got it. Then
I
Dark
did
Horse
read.
took over, but
I read Heir to the Empire. I forgot I read that book.
they're
I
amazing.
read
That
it.
trilogy
They
is
are
amazing.
really good.
And,
Yeah, those are good.
and
I
if
forgot
you're on,
because Ahsoka was like doing practically that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool.
and then so I waited 30 years, and now they're putting that into live action TV shows. I got Thrawn in live action, which I've been waiting for since '92 or whatever. I got that for my birthday, that book or something, because that was released in paperback only because there was no hardcover. It was small.
What Star Wars thing have all of you guys been waiting for? I'll say mine. It's Darth Plagueis. I've been waiting for Darth Plagueis since I heard Palpatine turn to me in that camera.
So
And said,
that's
have you ever
Attack of
heard
the
this
Clones?
story? Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it
he
was
said
Attack.
it. No, he said it in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, was it Revenge? Yeah,
It was Revenge of the Sith.
adult
yeah,
Anakin, I remember, and then I get it mixed up.
What about you,
I've been
Joanne? Is there a
waiting.
character that was referenced? Or sorry, I meant to. I'm a little. I've had some spice,
are you a little
Oh
faded?
my!
You a little faded?
and I'm drinking this wonderful. What would be a Star Wars in universe beverage that's like a wine?
Alderaan wine.
I'm having Alderanian wine. That's a really fancy wine, by the way. It's
Drink
very
it while it lasts.
Yeah. So I keep.
And remember,
so when
I figured out why some people say these aren't Sith and get mad. It's because some of these people are not from the Sith region of France. So they're just sparkling dark force users, and people get confused with the Sith and sparkling dark force users. It's a whole thing, and then they forget about that.
Yeah, you have to be from the
Yeah.
Sith region.
Yeah,
in the south
Chateau
of
Picard
France.
is in the Sith region of France, just so you know.
So what I was gonna say is let's go in the order of the screen from me and then up, and we'll finish with Marcella this time.
What was the question? What?
What Star Wars reference that's
He's
been
first.
made?
He's
What-
first if he's up.
What region
What's
of
the-
France are you from and why?
Yeah, I'm from Lyon.
Ooh, I've been to Lyon. That's awesome. We're saying what reference was made in Star Wars that has not been satisfied yet that you're waiting for, like something that has been referenced. So for me, it was Darth Plagueis, and for Joel, it was Thrawn. So yes, we know Joel's already. So Joanne, Trev, Marcel, and then Stan. There, I called. Remember your order, as Stanley likes to say.
I don't know. I don't think I've been waiting for any. Again,
That's a good
hear me,
answer
guys.
too.
Like, this is Star Wars is so not my universe. I watch it because the people I love Star Wars. So
Aw.
I watch them, but it's not my universe. I don't like the binary. I think it looks dusty. Um and it just doesn't connect for me. But I did like those. Who's the fat one? Jabba? I like him. I don't know.
Would you like to see a story centered around the Hutts?
I'd
Would you
like
like to
to
know
see
more about the Hutts?
around the hut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. All right, that's a good answer. The other one's a good answer too. That you didn't have any. Trev, do you have any?
I mean, unfortunately we've already seen some of this character that I want to see more of, but we just saw her too young. I love anything and everything and all things Leia, and that we've only seen, 80s Carrie, 20 teens Carrie, and then the young woman that played her in why am I blanking?
In Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, thank you. I would love to see her perhaps, as an adult, but before A New Hope. I would like to see her after Return of the Jedi, but before. I can't think. I had too much wine.
Instead of having her send C-3PO, listen,
Yes.
recast these characters. If you're going to use these characters,
Yes.
it's not disrespectful. She
Right.
died.
Right.
It's not.
Yes. CGI. We don't need to do that anymore. No.
Yeah. That guy looks so much like Luke. They don't need
that
to
they
do
didn't
Yeah,
need
he
the
did.
CGI. It's true.
So silly.
And actually, Sebastian Stan is right there. Sebastian Stan
He does.
Is a good actor,
Yes.
excellent actor, and he looks like Mark Hamill. It's insane. I think he's like Mark Hamill's clone that they made so that they could keep having Mark Hamill and things. That's
the thing in the comics and novels too. They clone Luke a million times.
Oh, really? Ooh, that's interesting.
So the character I want to see more of, we've already seen, is a mainstay of the franchise, but I would like to see more of her at different ages. And then, so that's the character I want to see. The story and the information and something I need answered that I don't think I'll ever get is why there are a bunch of people referred to as humans in a galaxy far, far away a long, long time ago.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah. The one thing I've always wanted to see in Star Wars is two things. It's twofold. I want to see the Old Republic. I want somebody to take the video game scripts and make that into a TV show or a series of movies. And the other thing that I want to see is I want to see some new stories in the Star Wars universe that aren't related or connected to anybody that we've met before. Because I think that new Disney Star Wars has been resting on their laurels a lot, and I would really like to see Star Wars move forward
by going back to the Old Republic.
Well.
I know what you meant.
The Old Republic. The Old Republic was just one thing, but the other thing that I would like to see is go forward. Go.
I was teasing.
Yeah, I know.
But Marcelo, is the Old Republic with Darth Revan? Is that what you're talking about, or what? Okay,
yeah.
All right. I know them by the Darths. Isn't that funny? I'm like, oh, I know what era you're talking about by the
Darths.
So dark. You're into the Sith. You're so dark. Darth's so pale.
Also, I'm so into the Sith.
But also,
trying to make Darth
hot.
But also, I would just like to see a movie series or a TV show specifically focused on a Game of Thrones kind of thing in Star Wars would be cool.
Andor must have been heaven to you. Did you like Andor?
Yeah, Andor was fun.
Okay. Did you all see Andor?
I could not get past episode 1. I watched it twice and was like, what the fuck is this? And I didn't go back.
Did you see Rogue One? Which takes place afterwards, but it's basically knowing that's coming is sort of
Rogue One. Did you see Rogue One, Joanne?
Is Rogue One? Which one was that? Was that with
it's
the
war movie where everyone dies at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jyn Erso, and at the very end you see Vader fuck shit up.
Vader, yeah, I did see that. I saw that. I
Krennic
saw
with
that.
his cape,
with his cape. Oh,
his white cape on the beach.
But yeah. By the way, guys,
Beautiful movie.
Rogue
yes.
One is one of my favorite one of my favorite Star Wars films that Disney has made since they've acquired.
I was moved by that film when I saw it in
Oh.
the theaters. I was like, wow.
I cried.
Marcelo, I will
Woo!
one up you. Marcelo, I will one up you, but we have a fondness of that film in common. But I will one up you by saying it is my favorite Star Wars film.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. All right. I mean, Jin is actually my favorite Star Wars character of all time. There's something about her that I just connected with, and I just love that movie so much.
Joel, was there another Star Wars thing you wanted to see come to fruition, or
From
Oh,
the
go ahead.
comics, Dr. Aphra, which it's still going on, but the first run of that is she's this amazing lesbian chaos archaeologist, which is weird, but oh my god, did they go places that are so amazing? She ends up working for Darth Vader to do this stuff she doesn't want to do, and then she gets the evil versions of C-3PO and R2-D2, 000, and I think BT-1, who just have like missile launchers and just love to kill. And just watching a C-3PO look like torture people in comics, I'm sick, but totally.
That sounds like fun.
The recent once it switched back to Marvel, I mean, I like Dark Horse; they did a great job previously, but they've really hit it out of the park. There's some amazing stuff, and the Poe Dameron initial run too. God, that was good.
I got to do another stream just devoted to like all the stuff I need to get into in the expanded universe of Star Wars. It sounds fun. Stanley.
I think we're already getting a little bit of her across miniseries, but more with Mon Mothma. Instead of being the B and C plot in a lot of things, I'd like to see her be the A plot. I do love seeing her trajectory from senator starting to fund the rebellion to becoming chancellor. Remind me, is Ahsoka before Force Awakens, or is it after?
Before.
Okay. Before. I would like to know that she survived that movie. I'd like to believe that she was off-world, being a great chancellor, and or she, because they didn't destroy Coruscant in that, right?
No, thank goodness. No. They destroyed what was the name of the planet?
I forget that other planet.
It was another city planet though. It was like another almost all city planet. And what happened post in the New Republic, they moved the capital apparently whenever there's like a new government or something like that. Or they moved
like in the Simpsons when they moved Springfield. Yeah.
I think it was called Sacramento.
Nobody wants a city there. Why is there a city?
I've been to Sacramento.
I don't remember. The airport was nice, but that's it. I don't remember what it was called. Yeah.
I've been to Sacramento, and it's a pretty how town, and especially because it has a park named after LeVar Burton, so that's pretty cool.
Arizona.
I've always heard it as the most boring town in the world.
It was Prescott, it was Phoenix, then it was Tucson, then it was Phoenix.
Well, Mon Mothma is a great one. I agree with that one 100%. I love her. And she looks so much like the original. Not that you need to, but she looks so much like the original actress. It's insane.
I like what we're getting in the other series, but like Andor, like the feeling, like when she loses her daughter, basically, and needs to become basically a chess piece. The acting is so good. I can't wait for season 2 of Andor.
More than one character is sacrificing their lives to do this stuff. It's just, oh my god.
And I like that we're finally seeing it. Like the rebellion was not without blood on their hands, and so starting with Rogue One and Cassian, really, we get to see it, and then we see this bitch.
I'm glad Blue Sparrow asked this question because it brings us back to the Acolyte. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about Jedi Master Vernestra. I I understand that from the book, she was like the youngest ever to make Jedi Knight. So at 16 years old, she became a Jedi Knight, and so not long after that, she adopted her first Padawan, which apparently in the Acolyte series, the ship that she flies on is named after that Padawan. And now I'm wondering if that Darth Sexy is the Padawan,
Yeah.
and
Could be.
that she her first Padawan. I could see a 16-year-old Vernestra whiplashing that boy.
You know, I want to know, like, why did she whip him?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like, what was that? Was it sexual? Maybe
Whippy
it could have
master.
been.
I mean,
Like, I don't know.
Wait, did that actually happen? Did I miss that? I only saw.
No, it's
they
just
show the scars, and
speculation.
she is the whip, and she's the only whip we've ever seen, except for
Okay.
Yeah.
who aren't.
But
And he freaks out when he recognizes that she's there
Yeah.
in the last episode. Like
and
he
he
immediately
said,
puts his
yeah,
hat on.
and he says
Yeah,
something
that I
like,
saw.
Hat. I love it.
I got that they were connected. I was just I was
Right.
missing the whip comment as like a joke and not. I thought I was missing dialogue or something of her being like, and then I whipped my Padawan once.
We need
in the
needed it.
episode in the episode where she's Osha is in his cave, he says, when we were youngling, remember, like when we were younglings. So he was definitely a youngling and in the Jedi Order at one point. And then when she asks him about the scar, he goes, someone who discarded me. So he and she says at the end of the series, so that's definitely 100%. I think that they're 100% connected.
Yeah.
Like that and then she gave him that scar 100%. But now I want to know why. Like that's like
I know, especially with the she threw me away or discarded me. Like, clean yourself up, honey. Here's $5, you know?
She's a peaked in Jedi high school kind of gal, I think, Varnestra.
Wow.
I thought of everybody in this show was making mistakes. Everybody was a flawed individual. And I think that was one of the great things about like seeing like, oh yeah, the Jedi fuck up. Like they're making assumptions, they're not asking the right questions, they're not asking enough questions, they're not keeping their blades down, like all kinds of shit. But Vanestra especially, I think, and like I swore when I was younger I would never become one of these people. Well, when you're older, you'll understand. Maybe it is a byproduct of her youth, but like I think of everybody making similar types of fuck ups and deciding to like sweep things under the rug, she had the biggest opportunity to end that cycle, and her not choosing to do that, I think, is gonna bite her on the ass. Like Carrie Ann Moss, her deciding we're not gonna ruin this girl's life any more than you already did, comes from a place of empathy. Vanestra's cover up comes from a place of wanting to keep power. And so I think she has the least empathetic reasoning around her flaws for me. And I think that makes her a very interesting character, and I'm curious where it's going to go. The other people, even Saul to an extent, like I was doing the right thing. He at least he wasn't, but he at least firmly believed it. Hers is ambition, I think. And it's interesting to see that in a Jedi.
She did Soul so dirty. Go ahead, Joel. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, we really haven't had a character like that in the Jedi, so it's very interesting. She obviously values Jedi as an institution over any of these individual people in the situation.
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, you're right.
She's middle management, and she's towing the company line.
For sure. Yeah. She's worried about things which it turns out is true, but you didn't really know that. She was worried,
but don't you think she did Soul wrong by not?
Well, we don't know. We haven't seen that part yet. It very well could be, but
she says doesn't she say to the? I only watched the finale once because it
I only
moved
watched
me.
it all once.
Well, who is around to tell her the full story?
No
because
one. They all died.
Because
right?
Yeah, I
I
thought she force felt it, had that force kind of
Yeah.
vision
yeah,
because she
She's-
was
yeah.
traveling or whatever in
But she
hyperspace.
only gets impressions, so she doesn't
Yeah.
get like the full
she doesn't
thing.
get the full story. So I
Right.
think she has enough to know that she is definitely lying. I mean, she knows that she knows that she's not 100% correct, or she knows that what she is saying about Saul has not been proven, but she's stating it as a fact. And so
That is so middle management, though. Not
Yeah.
having all the facts, but making decisions.
yeah,
Yes.
she's towing the company line. She's saying, like Saul did, like Saul was connected to OSHA and he let his judgment get clouded. She is getting echoes of what happened in these places. She got it on Kelnaka's planet. She got it on Brendok. So she's going from her gut and not actual evidence. So she's fucked up. The others at least had firsthand experience that they were, like, again, misjudging things, not asking enough questions. The only one who knew what she was doing was Carrie Ann Moss until her final choice with regard to OSHA, because Saul did want to do the right thing at that point. In who'd she play? Indara was her name.
Yeah, Indara.
Yeah.
Indara, that was her fuck up, which led Saul down to continue his fuck ups.
And I'm like, did she kill, like, when Indara broke the thing with Kelnaka, like, did she kill those witches?
Apparently so I have mixed feelings about showrunners saying things on social media when they don't make it clear in the content they give us.
Yeah.
Also, I don't mean to call it content they give us, but apparently Leslie Headland has said that yes, she did not necessarily know that would happen, but yes, when she broke their hold, the force back was strong enough that it killed them.
That was unclear on screen for sure.
Yeah,
It absolutely was. So that's
Actually
I'm
what
like,
I thought happened, but
well, that's what I thought
I thought
too.
maybe, but you didn't know.
And I was like, oh,
I thought
think
maybe the
she
big
killed
hole
them.
was finally
I
awakening.
might have been
I
like
don't know.
Marcelo, and I was like, that's what I hoped happened. Like-
No, I
my.
think that motivated her cover up too, on some sense, right? Because you
Yeah,
were
I really
like,
enjoyed that. By the way, that was cool.
we know you like that, Marcelo. She
What do
killed
you
all
think
those
of it?
bitches with one thought.
Darth Marcello approves.
She killed all those bitches with one
What
thought.
thought?
Oh my god, can we? I'm gonna say that in real life for other situations.
We got-
But
Cut that out. Make it a short. You need to do
that's
that.
like that's like a good thing to have in your pocket. Like,
Oh
it's
my.
really good. Marcelo,
Everyone
what'd you think
dies,
of
goes in the hole. Yep.
I'm sorry.
What'd you think of Vernestra?
Um,
Jedi Master Vernestra.
she was okay, but I think that she was operating from a place of from her gut, and I didn't like that. Like Stan said, she was towing the company line, and I'm like, instead of towing the company line, why don't you not think with your gut and actually look at what's happening here?
What do you think
Like-
she's gonna talk to Yoda about, guys?
I think that she's gonna try and make things sound less like it's all screwed up, and Yoda's gonna see right through that, and I think that Yoda's gonna rip her a new one.
Yoda,
think
that
just the
senator's being
opposite.
mean.
I think she's gonna tell him like, hey,
Everything.
shit went down. I
Uh-huh.
decided we didn't need to say anything, and Yoda's gonna be like, agree, I
So-
do.
Okay,
Agree, I
okay, so-
do.
I think he's
am.
down for it. Yoda is the company line, y'all.
He's 600.
That's right.
Six,
Yeah,
700
Yoda is a
years old
company
at this point.
He's the pleasant COO that you're just like, oh, he's actually a cool dude. He pays everybody's bar tab when we go out.
He does. He does actually.
He's always
That's
baked
like-
on weekends. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
legit.
Yeah, he's not a regular boss. He's a cool boss, and then he lies.
So he's on the council. We know that, right?
I
Or
think
do we not know
if
that?
if you consider the novels and things, I heard he's head of the council at this point. But I didn't read
Oh,
those
okay.
Knights of the
So
Republic, but
now, other than Yoda, there's going to be an all new cast of characters that are the council, which we potentially will meet if there's a
Yeah.
season 2, which I'm excited
which
about.
would be cool. Yeah.
Like, yeah, because like everyone knows that council, like Plo Koon, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Yaddle. Who else was
Yeah,
there? Oh, of course, Samuel L.
episode 1.
Jackson.
I wish he could come in here, but that'd be too hard to do.
How
Yeah,
amazing would it be if that was just his character's name? Like if just Samuel L. Jackson was just on the council, like that was
I
crazy.
am
I'm 100%
Purple
blanking
Saber. Shut
on
up.
Mace Windu's name until I said I was 100% blanking. His name did not it just appeared back in my mind. That was weird. That's probably getting old or being drunk.
I
and
put
on
it in your
Spice.
mind with the force. Thank you.
They're
You're
all like,
welcome.
everybody's like, oh, you look a little bit like that that Padawan Mace Windu. And Samuel L. Jackson's like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
He's really Yoda's kid, and that's why he's so old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's true.
But we do have the potential to get, if the show continues, to get those kinds of introductions, like a young Mace Windu.
If they
Would be
start,
this was about 100 years
Yes,
before
I
episode
swear to
1.
God.
We don't actually know where it takes place. Is it confirmed it's 130 years? Is that what I heard?
About
That's what I
100.
heard.
Yeah, I kept
Okay.
hearing.
If
Sorry,
they
Stan, what were you saying?
I was gonna say if they Strange New Worlds this and like just use this as a backdoor reboot for the original.
No, bring Paul Wesley in as Kirk. Do it. Do it.
No, bring Paul Wesley in as Luke. He's but like as
And Sam Kirk. We need Sam Kirk.
premonition.
Yeah, I hope they
Sebastian
don't do
Stan.
that. I think one of the things I think Star Wars does well, I mean, I get it, Yoda's really old and long lived, but I think
Yeah.
what Star Wars does well is they do this big universe well. Like you get a
It
real
does feel
it's a,
big.
yeah, it's big and they do that really well. So I hope we don't see it get too much smaller with a lot of legacy characters.
Yeah, you
But-
could have Jabba. I think Hutts are probably really long lived, but there's not too many that are that long lived. And some Wookiees, but I don't think Chewbacca's quite that old. He'd be
But we have
very
the
young.
opportunity
He might be
of
alive.
learning about
Very young.
Yaddle. Yaddle might be around.
Yaddle
Were
could be
they
there
like
for sure.
were Yoda and Yaddle like what's their relationship?
That's the new series. It's a sitcom. Yoda and Yaddle have their first kid.
And now
And,
that we're in a time of
becomes a
relative, now that we're in a relative time of peace, we may learn. I know it's cool to keep Yoda species a mystery. That's like awesome, and also Baby Grogu. I love Baby Grogu. But anyways, it's cool that that's like one of the mysteries of Star Wars. I believe George Lucas even intended it that way to not like really go deep into it. But I would just love any nuggets about Yoda.
I
and-
bet
and
Lucas
his
had.
species.
I bet there's legal in the contract when he sold it. I bet there's legal verbiage about that.
about
I'm
Yoda,
sure- yeah.
But that's a big coup then for the show because they freaking got Yoda.
Well, having Yoda's easy, but yeah.
Yoda is easy, is all I heard.
Oh yeah. 900 years old, you reach.
Yeah, Yoda. Sorry.
I know that Weird Al reference.
Any other thoughts on Master Vanestra? Because I could talk about her all day. She's interesting.
I think that's about all we had from her. I mean, she's very interesting, but yeah.
I think she's crazy, and I want to know what.
That's
Okay.
interesting. Yeah, interesting.
So, for those of you who know who Darth Plagueis is, this is the first time we've seen this character appear on screen in Star Wars. We're not just assuming it because Leslie Headland.
You're assuming
like-
Palpatine was telling the truth to begin with, though.
Right? No, but that's okay.
I mean,
that's
I
okay.
know there's expanding.
What we
universe
know
novels
from
about it.
It's Dark Plagueis. Come on, it has to
Well,
be.
I have not
That's
read
it.
the books, and I have not read the Darth Plagueis book, but now I think I might, because I really want to get schooled up on this character if they're going to be a part of Star Wars, whether it's in the Acolyte or another production. But I hope it's the Acolyte, of course. This is a character who, what Palpatine actually, let me pull up what Palpatine actually says, because like I used to have it memorized, but I'm a little drunk right now. But like, do you know the speech? Does anyone know the speech by heart? Like
Not by
the
heart.
lines? Okay, here, let me pull it up. Hold on, I gotta pull it up.
I know the intonation kind of. I remember that, but I don't know the words.
All right, here we go.
Is this
Did
the
you
one
ever?
with the
I know they're
Palpatine of
watching the
the
weird opera.
Darth
thing.
Plagueis the Wise? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Have
At
you
the
heard about
Opera
it? Yeah.
House.
Yeah.
So, did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise. He refers to him as wise. That's interesting. I've never heard any other Sith refers to it as wise. But anyways, uh, and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. ... He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. Manny Jacinto's Darth Stranger, Darth Sexy, says he's old as fuck. He's been keeping this guy alive for a long time. And Master Venestra is a long-lived species. She's at least her age here. Like, what would it be? Like if she was a master at 16? We don't know. We don't know
Somebody
how old
said
she
like
is here.
115. She's like 115.
She's 115.
Oh.
So that means that Darth Sexy has been looking sexy for 115 years, and he's a human. Darth Plagueis, his true master, is keeping him young. 100% is what I believe is happening here. But anyway, sorry. Going back to the quote, he had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. He became so powerful, the only thing he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew, which we know that's not true. Or he might have taught it, but the apprentice didn't understand. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. That's my buddy, my friend, Sheev Palpatine.
Which is so funny because Palpatine cares about no one. There's not a single person he cares about.
I actually am going to go so far as to say, and I hope Leslie Headland watches this somehow and it influences her, but I think that Darth Sexy and Darth Plagueis should be fucking. Like, I think they should 100%
with the sensory deprivation helmet on.
Oh my gosh, like 100%. That's
so.
Actually what I will be using that prop for. I'm going to buy the helmet now.
They
Oh
have
my
that
god.
They sell stuff. Star Wars sells stuff.
I would love it if not only
it.
was this was this an effed up Sith story,
buy
but it was
stuff,
an effed
but
up gay
I
Sith
Trek
story.
stuff.
That's what I want. Is I want a gay Sith story, and then Palpatine comes along, and he's the hot fucking young senator, and
From
that's
Naboo.
it. That's it. New lover. And
Put
Palpatine's so obviously gay, by the way. I'm just saying.
Put that Disney money where your hole is.
That's
show
The big hole was a metaphor for a holes. It's.
Do you guys not agree that would be amazing?
You guys are insane. That's all I'll say. No, thank you. I don't.
You
See, I went
I
the
don't wanna
other
see that.
way.
Jedi won't teach you that.
Guys are
will
insane. No,
teach-
thank you.
But I'm thinking they'll take the two girls because I'm like, in there can only be two. So I'm like, oh, well, now they
Hey,
got May and
interns
Osha,
don't
one
count.
for Plagueis, one for Darth Sexy, so then that way Plagueis and Osha or Plagueis and May
Can
can
you-
go off.
Can you
And
imagine their lover conversations, Joanne? He's like, Darth Sexy's like, Plagueis, I really would like to try something with a woman. Like, and Plagueis is like, what?
like, no.
I'm not enough for you, you bitch.
And he's like, hear me out. They're really beautiful. And and they're two
I saw
of
these
them.
twins.
They're poly. They're poly.
They're- oh my
The
God.
future is Pan.
I feel like I've seen this movie, but it wasn't called Star Wars.
Trev, have we moved this show up in your watching priority list yet?
Listen. You like it was already. You had me at shirtless Manny Jacinto. Like it's happening. It's
Nice.
You don't have to convince me. You don't have to convince me.
Technically, he's naked, but they don't really show that. So It's a
Don't
He
do
is,
tease.
that's true. Do you think there's a
He's swim.
version that they'll release on Blu-ray?
I think
that's
they
They
like-
will not.
They should have
They
showed
should.
at least his
They
butt.
should, but they won't.
I thought they were gonna show his butt. But does
I
Disney
thought that
not
too.
do that?
I really did. They can do that.
They
I'm
can
surprised they
Disney
didn't.
show naked? I don't know.
No.
But They could do that. They
I'm
did that
sure
on
he was
TV.
wearing, like,
NYPD Blue
Speedos.
showed butt, right? This is I don't know.
I'm sure he was
Actually-
wearing Speedos, and nowadays, full frontal nudity can no longer be trusted because most actors are now wearing prosthetics that are like either to hide their actual, which I agree with, by the way. I would want the same thing to either hide their actual junk or to
Oh
make
hell,
their
you don't need
junk
that.
ideal for the
Now,
story.
y'all saw all these titties for all these years. No, we want to see
Mhm.
the real dick.
We do want to see.
I don't care if it's cold. I don't care if you were swimming in the cold water.
It did look
Don't
like
care.
cold water. That's true.
Though
It kind of did there.
You-
But
for
Do
the
you-
record, Manny Jacinto in a speedo is fine as well. Like I would like to see his buttocks. but
Darth
yeah,
Speedo, yes. Yeah.
I'm
I'll
not
take it.
interested in knowing what Manny Jacinto's state is, but do you all think that Darth Sexy is uncut or cut?
I would like to think no one in the galaxy is cut. Yeah.
Stan's like,
that-
where's
that
the
should be
problematic gay button? Where's like
There
the it's
Well,
like, where's
I can't speak for Darth Sexy, but Manny is Filipino, so probably circumcised.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I just learned
Only
something
those
about
weirdos
Filipino.
that what Jedi
That's what
are
the little
circumcised.
lightsaber was for, right?
Oh,
The stubby one?
When he broke it in half. The little one is for
It
the
was a
breast,
send
right?
up of Maul. It was such a weird send up of Maul with the dual bladed one. I love that.
Joanne, you can be on the After Dark show whenever you want. In fact, if you wanted to lead it anytime, you're totally welcome to.
Darth Joanne loves the After Dark show.
You guys, I have to be up early tomorrow to do a Prodigy stream at 9
Unacceptable.
a.m.
That's what the
Yeah.
Jedi want you to think, so
With-
hell.
with the other Darth Sexy Trek on the Tube.
Oh yeah, I heard-
Sorry
yeah,
to
yeah.
objectify you, Toddy.
Let's objectify Toddy.
Toddy is Darth Sexy though. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All respect to his family.
Is New Zealand French Canadianness?
Are we not supposed to be objectifying Toddy? Because I've been objectifying Toddy for a long time.
It's so many accents right there. I mean, oh
These
my goodness.
episodes don't self-destruct, but I think Toddy will be cool
Oh.
with this. His
Was that not
wife
supposed to
might
be-
not.
I guarantee he doesn't have time. He doesn't watch anything.
Oh,
They would
Jesus.
have a 9 a.m. stream with Toddy, so I
I'll
can't
get
go on
up,
for
but
much
Then I'll
longer.
take a nap afterwards. But
Oh,
But I
then
feel
we'll
like
do DS9, right? DS9.
oh.
I feel like that's yeah. Then we're doing DS9 at
Are we
3.
doing
I'm gonna
DS9
be
tomorrow?
Hangover. Yes,
I have
Hangover
notes.
the Next
I'll
Generation.
watch it again. But
Yes,
I have
all the shows are happening tomorrow. They are
So
happening.
I'll come back to After
Oh,
Dark when you
and-
do Rings of Power.
Oh, we are gonna do Rings of Power.
oh yeah.
Actually, we do a
Oh,
show.
Toddy
Toddy
has
and
a-
I-
Hey,
a
we're gonna
separate
do
show.
second
Toddy and I-
breakfast.
Toddy
Yeah,
and I do a
second
show called Second Breakfast, so you
Are
can
you
join us. You can prepare your second breakfast and come and watch that show with us. It's a lot of fun. So we'll
Oh,
be
cool.
bringing that back when it comes on. Oh, I love that this turned into a wrap up. So wait, sorry. Before the wrap up, do you guys have anything to talk about? Anything more about the Acolyte? Should we do another episode after Trev watches it? Like rejoin this like panel
Ooh.
and just do another
know
Acolyte
when he'll watch
discussion.
it.
After Dark is super experimental, and we could do whatever we want with it. So it's not like a
I was gonna say, I like how we're pretending like there are rules, and I'm like, it's your fucking show, so hell, like, do whatever
It
you
is
want.
It's your show. Whatever you
it's my
want.
show, but that's the way, I'm right now. There's a couple. There's like
You know what?
wine.
You know what? You know what?
It's like-
You know
it's
what?
like-
You know what? I think we should. I think we should do another Acolyte wrap.
Whenever
up when
you
Trev
watch
sees
it,
the
Trev,
show.
we're gonna this specific group.
Sure.
We'll gather back
We'll do it.
together. We'll try to make a follow up show to see what you
We'll
thought,
manifest together.
and everyone in the audience will come back for that one.
Well,
But
well,
yeah, was
we
there
really
anything we
need to
didn't?
know-
Do we? There's probably a lot of things we didn't talk about the Acolyte, but is there anything you guys didn't get to talk about that you wanted to talk about? Why don't you go first, Joanne, and then everyone, and then we'll wrap up and we'll say goodnight.
No, I actually enjoyed, although I think it's problematic, right, in the Star Wars universe that there's some energy attraction, I guess, between um Darth Sexy and Osha. I'm thinking Padme and Anakin. That didn't go well.
Well, no,
but
we don't know how the Sith feel about
well,
it. I
maybe
don't
we don't
think,
know how
right?
the Sith
Yeah.
feel, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that arc too. I don't know. I loved the nuance. I love their willingness to be, you know, morally vicious and virtuous on both sides of the house. I thought it was, like I said, conceptually, thought it was brilliant. Execution fell short and somebody stole some money because the production was shit. Thank you. Thank you.
Accusations have been made. I love it. Trev, you don't have anything to say
Did
about
the-
the Acolyte, but are you
Pardon
excited
me
about
while I
our
speak about this show that I haven't watched for the next 30 minutes. I mean, besides more Manny Jacinto, I'm looking forward to watching, and I would love to watch a show that was apparently filmed in a theme park. I'm super jazzed about that. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. The only thing that ever bothers me about like trying to dive into these shows when I'm behind is trying to figure out where in the fuck the timeline it happens. Because one of the beautiful things about the other Star franchise is that you can just ask what year it's in, but telling me like how many years after the Battle of Yavin this takes place does not help me figure out when the fuck it happens.
Here,
So
we got you. It's 130-ish years before episode 1.
okay,
There you go. It's
Which is
unknown
30 years
territory.
before the Battle of Yavin.
right? Thank you.
See,
'Cause
Trevor,
my
it's
whole-
just math.
My whole life revolves around the Battle of Yavin. My grandfather was there. I no, I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm looking forward to honestly, I am looking forward not to objectify him beyond how I already have, but I'm looking forward to seeing Manny in a role that apparently he just devours, and so I'm looking forward to enjoying it, and I'll report back.
That's one thing, if I can add, that if you look at all the behind the scenes stuff, I'm so happy for Manny Jacinto. Sorry, can you please say? I heard you pronounce it the right way because you pronounce it that way. Can you say his last name?
Jacinto?
Jacinto. So Manny Jacinto, he is so excited about this role. It's like a breakthrough, and he's amazing in it, first of all. But that's one of the things that I love the most is that he actually got to bring something new to Star Wars, like, and also just rock it as a swords person, as a lightsaber person. He's amazing. I
Oh,
wanted to
lightsaber.
see him
Sorry,
all.
you said sword.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sword
Okay. Right,
and a
got it.
sword
Metaphor.
and bathing.
Metaphor.
And he just, yeah, and it's hard, reverentially, Manny Jacinto, you are a very easy person to look at.
Indeed.
Stanley. Oh, and don't forget to promote your shows, guys.
Very well. The Salon is on every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific at Salon Trek here on YouTube.
And this could be like a salon-ish episode of Starfleet Boy After Dark or the After Dark show because there's a lot of salon here. I'm a salon
a big swath of salons on here. Yeah, at Salon Trek here, Twitter, and Blue Sky. Be sure to follow us, like, and subscribe. We're currently doing 2 episodes of Prodigy a week. In 2 weeks, we'll take a day off for STLV because a good chunk of us will be there. And that's about that. Joanne, check your email, and Trevor, check your texts. And I'm excited for more. I hope they get a season 2. It would be silly for them not to get a season 2. I know corporate media is being silly right now, but Disney has the money. And they only gave us 8 episodes. They need more to finish out this story, and they need a season 2.
I agree 100%. I'm very curious about the check the emails. It's like, what's going on? Did I not get CC? No, I'm just kidding. But I have so much FOMO about STLV. I'm sorry I'm not going to be there.
We're
But
disappointed.
we'll be
Sohail.
watching
We're
everything.
Oh, he'll
disappointed
come
in
to
you.
Nashville. I'll be in Nashville.
When is the Nashville?
It's like a month after. It's like September 13th through the
Yeah, I
15th.
think so.
Joanne, I'm gonna give it a real effort because I've always wanted to go to
I think
Nashville.
Father is going to drive that one.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Father is
Okay,
driving
cool.
too.
Oh, okay. I'll talk to him. All right, cool. I'll give it a real proper effort. But Stanley left because he had to go. Joel, your turn. Hoel.
Well, I always hated when I took Spanish. That was my name. It's just like ho. It sounds like hole, which is very appropriate for this episode because there's a giant hole.
There's a
Or
giant
this
hole.
series, but I'm totally off track. But anyway, I don't even remember where we were. But yeah, I like this. I like this series, and I definitely think there will be a season 2 because I don't think there's much in the pipeline other than Andor season 2 coming. I don't remember if there's anything else really because Bad Batch finished, so I haven't heard about a new animation. Though I assume there will be one eventually, and it'll be Ahsoka season 2. But I think this will get a season 2, and it should because there's a lot of nice questions and interesting things. But as for me, yes, I'm just waiting to go to STLV, like right there. Yeah, it says STLV. So
awesome.
yeah, soon
I
I will
will
be
have
spending a
that
lot of
tag.
money. Spending all my money at the Masquerade, buying everyone rounds. So hell, you don't get anything because you're not coming.
Can you guys FaceTime me in at some point just to kind
We
of
can.
like
Oh
hang
my
out?
god! Yeah, we can. I don't know if you'll appreciate it, but we will.
No, I'll totally appreciate that. That's awesome. I was hoping that Father would walk around with like an effigy of me at STLV. That
Well-
might have been
Well,
pretty
Rachel's
cool.
not. She's the one who can make really good cardboard cutouts and bring
That's
them
true.
around.
She
and
could do that. I'll talk to Rachel about it.
She had that
actually.
Murph.
That's
She-
Should we do should we do flat Sohail or Sohail on a stick?
So
So
hell,
on a stick, on a lightsaber.
So hail on a stick.
I have my new whiteboards. It's huge.
So
I mean,
on
no,
a
all
dark
right.
sexy-
So hell, you're not
Very
getting a
done.
drink now. You could, but
and make sure I have the helmet on while I'm.
I'm not gonna
riding
draw a
him.
picture. I'm not that good. I'm
Wait,
just gonna write
Okay, sorry.
the name.
Anyways, Marcelo.
I found really thick dry erase markers, like graffiti thick, like it's insane. So
Oh, you didn't
my
have a
whiteboard-
whiteboard for today.
it's improved.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see you tomorrow for DS9.
It'll be fun. The passenger.
Marcel,
What
was there
DS9
anything
episode are you doing?
we're doing?
Passenger.
What's Passenger? Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's the one we're. Yeah,
And sorry, that's the second time I've interrupted Marcelo. I'm sorry, Marcelo.
That's okay. Everybody interrupts me here. It's no big deal.
And
Because he likes to kill children so much, we feel the need to interrupt him.
we have a,
Right,
it's
Right, we
okay
have
to
somebody has to stop the killing spree.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Joe. We have it. It's okay to
Yeah.
interrupt on this show as long as you're
That's
mindful
okay.
about it.
It's
okay.
for the children.
It's okay.
Kill.
It's okay. Nobody likes me anyway. It's fine.
We
love
love
you. We
you.
just
Are
love
you
to interrupt
kidding?
you.
I know.
Stop
I'm
it.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You
Okay,
are
well,
definitely sometimes
know
a
I'm
little
loved.
confounding, but
I
I
know
do
I'm
love
loved.
you.
I know I'm loved. Don't worry about that. No, I thought this first season of The Acolyte showed a lot of promise. Like I said in my earlier comments, there were a couple things about the show from a structural standpoint that I would have moved around to make it flow a little bit better. Yeah, and like I said a little earlier ago, I would really like it if there's a season 2, if the showrunner herself actually took the reins of the whole show and wrote the whole thing herself. But other than that, I was really happy that OSHA went bad, that she killed Saul because he deserved it. And I have no interest in seeing OSHA and that other dark sexy guy do anything because that just creeps me out. So yeah, it was a really good start, and I hope it gets to season 2.
Most excellent. Oh, I forgot to mention something that's very important.
Oh,
if
I
you
forgot-
guys.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I forgot to give myself a shameless plug. If you guys like my voice and if you like the sound of my death talk all the time when I'm on here, I do have
That
my own
announcement
channel.
at the beginning is fire.
Yeah, thanks. I do have my own. I do have my own channel. It's called Balloon Hit Productions, where I talk about For All Mankind, Dawson's Creek, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I talk about a lot of stuff over there. So come over there and check me out. I do at least one new video a week.
It's very cool. I've heard some of you're very prolific. I'll just say I don't know how you do all. I don't know how you do it all, but it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and I just recently opened up my Twitch account, so I will be live streaming
Oh.
some stuff over there. So I will let y'all know when I do that. So if you
Yeah,
all
I
are
don't have
interested,
that subscribed. So
yeah. So if
Marcelo,
you
you're
all
on
are,
TikTok too. Don't forget. You're
yes,
pretty.
I
You
am.
do cool
no
commentary
TikTok.
stuff.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
I
TikTok.
do. But if you,
Um,
yeah, but if you're interested in Twitch, I will let y'all know when I'm on there, so you can come and say hi.
I guess I feel like we did a really good job covering this in a drunken, haphazard manner, and I'm
Fashion.
really proud of the stream. And I can't. I think I'm gonna do clips from it because like there's so many like there's so many interesting surprises. It's very cool.
Joanne made me laugh so hard; it was crazy. Mm,
Like I said,
crazy.
Joanne, you can be
Killed
the
me.
leader of this show anytime you want. I love you.
Talk,
I,
Joanne.
I don't know. There's so much to talk about the Acolyte. I hope that fans who were worried about how I understand what was happening. Like as the show was going on, this show was odd in that you didn't understand the motivations of the characters till the end. It was like flipped. Usually you need to be like kind of attached to a motivation, or like you have to have a little bit more understanding of the circumstances to get attached to a character. But this show does something interesting. It like gives you that at the very end, and it's very powerful. I don't know, it just makes it, to me, I think it's very powerful, and I do see that impact on on some other folks out there. But I guess what I would say is I hope people just watch it again, because maybe they're like, maybe I'll give it another chance to like whatever, because I really want a season 2. And to me, as cool as these characters all are that they're introducing, it is exciting to get this character Darth Plagueis. Personally, I hope season 2 is not too much about him, but I hope we do get a little more about this character, because he's not what you think in terms of like what Palpatine was. Darth Plagueis, I think, had a very different vision of the Force, and he might have actually been trying to like change the Sith, or what the idea of the Sith was. I believe he was trying to abolish the rule of two and all these things. So I think that
He was
getting
a good one.
no, I don't know. I don't think he was a good one, but I just mean to say is he was an interesting one, and
Well,
and
interesting.
he was an interesting one. So I'm very Jedi aligned in real life. I know I seem obsessed with the Sith, but they're just so damn
You're so
hot.
sexy. Yeah.
It's
No.
bad boys. I'm attracted to bad
No,
boys.
you
That's why
no
I
no
don't like. I
no
don't.
no you are not obsessed with the Sith. I'm obsessed with the Sith because I like death. So
There
yeah.
you go. Oh yeah, maybe I don't know. But anyways,
I'm kidding,
one
guys.
thing
I'm a
I
good guy.
forgot to say is that I'll be on the Sci-Fanatics stream tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Joined with Ellie Littlechild from Trek Culture.
Oh, really? Oh
And
my God.
yeah, so yeah,
Oh
she's cool.
wow.
Ellie's cool.
I hope
Yeah,
to meet her and Sean at STLV. That's my. I don't care about celebrities. I want to meet those two.
that's funny. They are celebrities though,
They're
in
gonna
our
be there.
little
So
kind of area. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun conversation. We're gonna do Star Trek Prodigy season 2 episodes 1 through 10. We're gonna be just talking about it, chatting for like an hour and a half. But then also 9 a.m. as I gotta get right to bed, because 9 a.m. I'm doing a Star Trek Prodigy episode 4, Temporal Mechanics 101. That's the episode we're doing.
I will get
And
up
then
and I will be angry at the Earth.
and then at 3 p.m. it's like Saturday morning cartoons. I'm so
It will
excited about
be.
it.
I love you and
Yeah.
Toddy. It'll be great, but it'll be like.
Thank you. And then at 3 p.m. we're doing a discussion of DS9's Passenger.
Yes.
So it'll be the usual characters on there. So Joel, you'll be there, right?
Oh yeah.
Marcelo, anyone
Yes,
else?
absolutely.
Yep. Tarav, you want to do
Absolutely.
this one, or are you're waiting for another one?
I will do my darndest. I will try.
Oh, cool.
Very
Excellent.
hard.
I love that.
I mentioned my husband's not well this week.
Oh, that's
yeah. So
that
I'm
was in our
playing
private
here.
chat.
Well,
I
yeah.
didn't
You
want to.
never know
I
how.
didn't bring
Fine,
it
I
up.
don't care. No, he hurt his back and he can't really move around much. So
Oh,
I've been
that's
sort of
Oh,
running
wow.
around.
Well,
That's
tell him
unfortunate.
thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing you with us for an hour and 30 minutes. Thank you. All
I will
right.
tell.
Love to you
Hope he
guys.
feels
Love
better.
to the audience. Thanks to everyone. And live long and prosper. We'll see you next time.
Oh no! May the